Hello, welcome back to a chapter a day. Happy Sabbath. And I pray that you're getting your rest on because this is the day in which to do so. Today we're going to be reading Job chapter 23. Yesterday in Job chapter 23, we heard Job's friend Eliphaz the Temanite talking to him about his ways towards God and that God was dealing with him according to his wicked ways. Okay, in essence, if he calls out to God and changes his wicked ways, God will hear him and bless and restore all that he had. But that was his gist of what's happening to Job. God was punishing Job. Okay, verse 20, chapter 23. Then Job answered and said, "Even today is my complaint bitter. My stroke is heavier than my groaning. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat." So Job is talking about coming to God to implore about himself, about his plight for himself. Verse 4, "I would order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would know the words which he would answer me and understand what he would say unto me. Will he plead against me with his great power? No, but he would put strength in me. There the righteous might dispute with him. So should I be delivered forever from my judge. Behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold." So this is all Job is saying here about his relationship with God. It's like he wishes he can come before God face to face. And sometimes don't we feel like that? Maybe if I can just talk to God face to face, a little closer, that he might be able to understand what I'm saying. But God doesn't just read here, our lips. He reads our hearts. He knows. But in his situation, Job is just so frustrated, so in despair, so longing for healing, for some word from God, that God would show him that, yes, Job, I hear you, I see you, I know. And Job is wishing that he could tell God, or ask God, what is really going on with me? Why is this happening to me? We do it too. We wish we can actually have that audience with God himself to find out what's going on with us sometimes. Verse 11, "My foot hath held his steps, his way have I kept, and not declined. Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food." So Job has been someone who has been diligently seeking God through his word, reading his word, following his word. Job knows his own self. He knows his heart and mind. So why is this happening to him? Verse 13, he said, even the words, God's words, are more important to him than food, than physical food. And sometimes, or maybe all the time, that's how we should feel. That knowing God and knowing his word is more important than filling our faces with food during the day. Okay, verse 13. "But he is in one mind, and who can turn him? And what his soul desireth, even that he doeth. For he performeth the thing that is appointed for me, and many such things are with him. Therefore am I troubled at his presence. When I consider, I am afraid of him. For God maketh my heart soft, and the Almighty troubleth me. Because for I was not cut off from before the darkness, neither hath he covered the darkness from my face." Whew. So in just, he's saying, you know what? God has kept me. Okay? He has not disappointed me until now, whatever it is I'm going through. I have kept his commandments more so, and I felt that his words were more necessary for me to keep than even eating food. But God is God. Who can turn him? This is what Job is saying. We cannot persuade or dissuade God. Okay? He performeth whatever it is he sees best for me. And therefore he's troubled. Job is troubled. He does not, for God maketh his heart soft, and the Almighty troubleth him. So he is saying God is responsible for his predicament because God has allowed it. Despite his relationship with God, God has still allowed this calamity on him. And that's how we feel many, many, many times if we are true to ourselves. Why did God allow this on me after I serve him so diligently? So that's the end of our reading of Job chapter 23. And that was Job's response after his friend Zophar, I believe, or Eliphaz the Temanite had given him his own opinions. Whew, wow. And like I said, I don't know for how long Job endured this ordeal, but nothing any of us would like to go through. And maybe we have in some degree, maybe not physical, but we've all gone through that emotional turmoil with God, feeling like God has abandoned us. So we know how it feels to a certain degree. So I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your Sabbath day, a wonderful week ahead, and that God blesses you above and beyond what he is able. I don't know, why do we say that? God is able to do anything. So above and beyond that he's able means just what God can do. Yeah. Okay. So until our next reading, keep listening, because that's how our faith comes and grows. Take care. Bye.